If your class is a derived class, the default constructor calls the parent constructor, passing along any arguments that were provided. So here we have the syntax. We have the constructor. Inside of the parentheses, we're gonna have these three dots or ellipses, arguments. Inside of the curly braces, here we have the keyword super. Inside of the parentheses of the keyword super, we have again three dots or ellipses, and then the arguments here. So we have a note. The difference between an explicit constructor like the one above and the default constructor is that the latter doesn't actually invoke the array iterator through argument spreading. And here are the corresponding links for these articles if you want to read more about them. So argument spreading, that enables code like this to work. So here they give us this example, and we have class extends. So we have the class validation error extends error. Inside of the curly braces, we have here the function print customer message, and inside of the curly braces of the function print customer message, we are going to return a message, and we do that by using backticks, and then we're gonna type in validation failed. And here they're using kind of like an emoji, kind of like a sad face, and you do with colon, hyphen, and then one parenthesis. Then you open another parenthesis, and here we type in details, colon, and now we're gonna use the $sign. We open curly braces, and we're gonna use the keyword this to change the message. So we're gonna have this.message. So we close the curly braces, we close the parentheses here, and we finally close the backticks. So we ended up with a semicolon, and we close the curly braces of the function print customer message, and we close the curly braces of the class validation error extends error. So now we're gonna use a try catch, and inside of the try statement we're gonna throw new validation error. So here the class is named validation error, so we're gonna throw new validation error, and we're gonna pass this string, not a valid phone number. So we're gonna pass this string in the throw new validation error. Okay, so that is for the try. Now in the catch, as an argument, is gonna be the error, and inside of the curly braces of the catch statement we're gonna have the if statement, and we're gonna have then an if else, but inside of the parentheses of the if statement we're gonna have error instance of validation error, and validation error is the class. So we're gonna have if error instance of validation error, then we're gonna do something. In this case we're gonna cancel that log error.name. So this is error instead of validation error. So error.name. Okay, so that is that. We close the curly braces of the we're gonna cancel that log error that the function print customer message. So this is the function print customer message, and we are chaining it to error. So we're gonna cancel that log error that print customer message. So we close the curly braces of the if statement, and now we're gonna type in the else. Open curly braces, and we're gonna cancel that log, this string that is gonna be unknown error. We put a comma and then error as a second argument, not as a string, just as a second argument. So we ended up with a semicolon, and now we're gonna throw the error. So we close the curly braces of the else statement, and we close the curly braces of the catch statement. So again we have a class, we have this class extends, so we have the class validation error extends error, we have the function print customer message, we have the try catch, and yeah, we're gonna check it out in our Chrome developer tool. So you can go to any tab. I can go here and press Ctrl Shift I. So we clean it up with Control L and paste it, press enter, and there you have it. When we cancel that log error, that name, the result that we are gonna get is just gonna be error. But when we cancel that log error, that print customer message, the result that we are gonna get is gonna be this message, the one that is in the print customer message and backticks. So we have a validation fail, the sad face, details, not a valid phone number. And you might think here it just says this, that message, right? But in the try statement we have throw new validation error, so we're passing this string, not a valid phone number. So this is what we are getting here. For example, if instead of not a valid phone number, okay, just put, I don't know, not a valid number, or just not valid, we can put just not valid. The result that we're gonna get is gonna be an error because we're cancel logging error that name. But in the second one, cancel that log error that print customer message, the result that we're gonna get is gonna be validation fail, details, not valid. So we press enter, and there you have it. We have the error. We cancel that log error that name is just error, and now we have cancel that log error that print customer message. This is gonna be the customer message, and we are passing as a string, not valid. So the result is gonna be validation fail, this icon of sad face, details, colon, not valid. So that is that for this example. The validation error class doesn't need an explicit constructor because it doesn't need to do any custom initialization. The default constructor then takes care of initializing the parent error from the argument it is given. However, if you provide your own constructor and your class derives from some parent class, then you must explicitly call the parent class constructor using the keyword super, for example. And here you have the article, so you can read more about the keyword super if you would like. So but here they're giving us an example. And okay, so we have a class extends, we have a class validation error extends error. Inside of its curly braces we're gonna have the constructor, and inside of the parentheses of the constructor we're gonna have the message as an argument. Inside of the curly braces of the constructor we're gonna have the keyword super, and inside of its parentheses we're gonna pass in the message call parent class constructor. So we ended up with a semicolon. Now we're gonna use the keyword this, and we're gonna chain it to the name. So this that name, and we're gonna assign it to a string, in this case validation error. Again, we ended up with a semicolon, and now we're gonna chain it to the code. So the keyword this that code is gonna be assigned the string 42. It's not the number 42, it's the string 42. So again, we ended up with a semicolon. We close the curly braces of the constructor, and now we're gonna declare a function, and the name of the function is print customer message. So you open curly braces and you're gonna return a message. So you use backticks, and the message is gonna say validation fail, this, I don't know, sad face, that is a colon, hyphen, and one parenthesis details, colon. And now here you use $, you open a set of curly braces, and inside of the set of curly braces we're gonna pass in the keyword this that message. So we are chaining the message to the keyword this. So we close the curly braces, and okay, so here we put a comma, and now we're gonna type code colon, and now again we use $, open curly braces. In this case we're gonna use the keyword this that code. So we close the curly braces, close the parentheses, and close the backticks, and we ended up with a semicolon. And yeah, when you use this.code, the result is going to be the string 42, not the number 42, because this is not a number, this is a string. And again, here when we have this.name is assigned to the string validation error, so we close the curly braces of the function print customer message, and we close the curly braces of the class validation error extends error. So now we're gonna use a try and catch. So inside of the try statement, we're gonna throw new validation error. So what is the name of the class? The name of the class is validation error, so that's what we get here. Throw new validation error. And again, we are passing a string as a parameter. It's gonna be not a valid phone number, so this is a string. We ended up with a semicolon. We close the curly braces of the try statement. Now we're gonna go for the catch. Inside of the parentheses, we have the error argument. So inside of the curly braces of the catch statement, we're gonna have an if else. Inside of the parentheses of the if, we're gonna have if error instance of validation error, then we're gonna do something. In this case, cancel that log error that name. So when we cancel that log error that name, now this is validation error. This is what we are gonna get, the string validation error. Okay, so now we're gonna cancel that log error that print customer message. So error print customer message, so we're gonna get this message validation failed, but we're gonna see that in the Chrome developer tools. So now we close the curly braces of the if statement, and now we go for the else. So if this fails, then do something, and the something that we're gonna do is gonna be cancel that log, this is string unknown error, this is the first parameter, and then error is gonna be the second parameter. We ended up with a semicolon, and then we're gonna throw the error. So we close the curly braces of the else statement, and we close the curly braces of the catch. So again, we have the class, the constructor, we have the function, and we have a try and catch. And now we're gonna see it in the Chrome developer tools. So we can go here, just press Ctrl+Shift+I and just paste it, and there you have it. When we cancel that log error that name, the result that we are gonna get is gonna be this one. That name is assigned to this string validation error, so that is what we get, validation error. And the second one, cancel that log error that print customer message, the result that we're gonna get is gonna be the message, so validation failed, the sad face, details, and now we're gonna get not a valid phone number. So here this $, that message is being replaced by this string, not a valid phone number. And now we have code, and the code is being replaced by that code here, 42. So for example, if we again not a valid number, we can just change this string to not a valid number, not a valid number, or not valid, just like that. We can put it like that, and now we change it to I don't know 52. So the result that we are gonna get is gonna be not valid, and the code is gonna be 52, not 42, because we are changing that code, we are assigning it to the string 52, and that message we are changing it to not valid. So we can press enter, and there you have it. The cancel that log error that name is the same, validation error, but the cancel that log error that print customer message is gonna be validation fail, and then details is gonna be not valid, as we pass this string here, and the code is gonna be 52. So if we can also change the the des.name. Instead of this string, we can just put validation e. So you press enter, and he is changing it, validation e. So that is that for this example. Using the keyword new. So here is the link for the new operator. Using the keyword new on a class goes through the following steps. 1. If it's a derived class, the constructor body before the super call is evaluated, this part should not access the keyword this because it's not yet initialized. 2. If it's a derived class, the super call is evaluated, which initializes the parent class through the same process. 3. The current class's fields are initialized. 4. The constructor body after the super call or the entire body, if it's a base class, is evaluated.